Hey guys, welcome to part 2 of this series. If you missed the last video, I'm going to go ahead and link it in a card right up here somewhere. Go ahead and give that a watch if you haven't seen it already. My name is Brad Belser with Belser Realty Group at White Rock Realty, and I make these videos as a fun and informative way to help you make the best decisions possible when it comes to real estate. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Stick around for this part 2. And do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe if you're not already. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's talk about this. New construction is great. You get a lot of things, a lot of benefits with new construction. What you're not going to get with new construction is character or uniqueness. I don't know if that's a word, but we're going to call it a word for today. You're not going to get character or uniqueness. Within your neighborhood on new construction, you're going to see dozens of houses that are the exact same floor plan. Again, they may have some subtle differences, but it's the same house, and you're going to be able to tell that. That's just the way neighborhoods are built today. That's just the way things are going to be moving forward. I don't think that'll ever change. And so if you're looking for character, something unique, a one-of-a-kind property, new construction is not going to be the way to go unless you want to do a custom build. So new construction, it's going to be up to you to give that house character, to dress it up however you want. You pretty much get a blank canvas with new construction, and you can make it be whatever you want it to be. If you're looking for something that has all the character and you just walk into it and you love it and everything's already been done by the previous owner, then new construction is going to be the way to go for you. So you've got two schools of thought here. New construction, if you want to make it your own, it's going to cost you some money. You're going to have to do some projects. You maybe do some painting or do some DIY things on the weekend to kind of make that property unique to you and make it your own. So it's going to cost you some money, right? You buy the house, you move in, you want to do all these projects, that's going to cost you some money. However, on the flip side of that coin, you buy a pre-existing home, it might be the same price, but if like Victorian architecture is your thing and you got to buy this super old house, but you love it because it's got all this character, well, guess what you're going to do? You're going to drop some money because the house is old. It's really old. And the plumbing is really old. The electrical, it's really old. Everything about the house is old, so you're going to have to be making repairs on a pretty semi-regular basis. So that's also going to cost you some money. So no matter what you do, homeownership comes with expense. It's up to you to decide how you want to spend that money. Okay, let's talk about HOAs. Everyone's got an opinion on an HOA. You either love them or you hate them. If you don't have an opinion yet, move into one and you will quickly decide which side of the fence you're on. If you do not love HOAs, if you absolutely despise HOAs and everything about them, avoid new construction at all costs. You will not buy new construction without an HOA unless you're working directly with a builder and doing a custom build on your own land. That's the only way to do it. Every new development, at least in North Texas, has an HOA. It's been that way for years. I doubt that'll ever change. That is the new industry standard for new construction development. But let's talk about HOAs just a little bit. So there are some benefits. They come with amenities a lot of times. You do have HOAs that literally provide you nothing and just take your money. I'm not sure why people chose to live there. But we have some really cool HOAs, and it's pretty common for HOAs to have things like a community pools, parks, playgrounds, biking trails, walking trails, things like that. A lot of green space where you can kind of hang out and play with the kids. We have neighborhoods in North Texas. What's becoming pretty popular here is these neighborhoods built around a giant lagoon. I mean, it's literally a giant lagoon. It takes on acres and acres and acres. There's HOAs here that have water parks, all kinds of cool stuff. So if you're looking for that, if you're not interested in putting playground in your backyard or putting a pool in the backyard, but you still want to have those things, an HOA might be a good option for you. Okay, my final point for this video is get a home inspection. You need to know what's going on with that house. And yes, I'm even recommending you get a home inspection on new construction. However, we just do that a little bit differently on new construction than with pre-existing. So let's start with pre-existing. Get yourself a home inspection. Do not try to save yourself the $400 or $500, whatever it costs for a home inspection. You need to know what is going on inside that house, behind the walls, under the floors, above the ceilings. You need to know everything because you want to know what you're getting yourself into. You need to know that the house is in good shape, or if it's not in good shape, you need to have expectations for the condition that the home is in so that you know how to prepare yourself and your finances. Not only is it a risk to not get a home inspection because there are things that will cost you money, oftentimes there can be things there in the house that are a possible danger or a threat to you and your family. Things like the appliances are old and they're going to quit working at some point. It's not a huge deal. But like, for instance, in the 1980s here in DFW, there was this mass widespread installation of these Federal Pacific electrical panels. Since then, these panels have been linked to tons of house fires and burning houses down. And I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to live in a house where I know the electrical panel has the potential to burn my house down with all of my possessions inside of it, possibly even my family. I would want to know that. And that would go into my decision-making process, whether or not I wanted to buy that house. If I did still want to buy that house, then I would want to make sure I had the money set aside to replace that panel, which is going to cost you a couple $1,000. But a couple $1,000 is a lot cheaper than replacing the entire house because it burnt down and all the things that are inside of it. I understand you have homeowners insurance. It's not going to cover everything. It's going to be a hassle, and you're not going to get the money tomorrow. You're going to go through a lot of expense waiting on that to come in. So these are just things to think about. You want to make sure you know the condition of your home, and you want to know the dangers that are potentially there. Hopefully not, but if they are there, you want to know about it. Okay, so let's talk about home inspections on new construction. You have code enforcement and city inspectors that are going to come through and inspect the property at different phases of the construction. They'll come in, they'll have to look everything over, make sure it's done correctly and done completely before they'll give permission to the builder to move on to the next stage of construction. So you have that going on. You also have a lot of builders will hire a third-party inspector to come in and inspect the property once it's completed. They call it a third party, but I mean, they probably own all or at least some of that third-party company, or have some kind of affiliated marketing thing there that they're not fully disclosing because they don't have to. But that's neither here nor there. At least there's someone putting eyeballs on the house, making sure things are good to go. Another thing, if you have a good realtor, emphasis on good realtor.
Oh, no, he didn't.
They're going to come in with you and do a final walkthrough before you close and take possession of that property. This is usually done about a week beforehand, and we go through and we just take blue tape, stretch it out. I'll use 1 roll, 2 rolls, however many rolls. You're going to take blue tape and you're going to put on things that look like crap, things that are bad, things that are wrong. You may not know that, but if you have a good real estate agent that is an expert in new construction, that has been in this a while and knows what to look for, they know what's right and they know what's wrong. Everybody knows what looks good and what looks like crap. So you're going to mark all those things. The builder has that week to get those fixed and corrected. Different tradesmen need to come in and take care of things. So you get moved in, you're living in the house. Now you're there 24/7, not just, popping in once a week while they're building it, but you're there every day. You're looking at stuff, and you're going to start to find things that you didn't see before because now you're looking at it through a different lens, and you're there all the time. You're really putting eyes on things, and you're starting to see things like sloppy paint and texture that ran, or there's paint on the countertop over here, or whatever the case is. There's a broken tile or a broken wood plank on the floor, things like that. After a few months, you're going to start to find these things. Start making a list, okay? And then when you get to about month 7, maybe month 8 of living in that house, that's when we want to hire a home inspector to come in. A couple $100, $400 or $500, whatever the case is. And they're going to come in, do a full inspection. They're going to give you a report. Okay, now remember earlier in the video we talked about new construction warranty. You got that 1 year, it's kind of like a bumper-to-bumper warranty where everything's going to be covered. Well, you take that inspection report and the list that you've made in the 7-8 months that you've been living there, hand that to your builder and say, I want all this stuff fixed, because you're in that 1 year bumper-to-bumper warranty on the house, and that gives them a couple months before that 1 year's up to get it all done. Just stay on top of them, make sure they don't forget, make sure it gets done at that 1 year mark, so we don't run into any issues. But that is what I recommend on new construction. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something today. If you like this video, please smash that like button, and I appreciate your time, guys. We'll see you on the next one.